So I got a 2012 Caravan here. It's got the usual, you crank it, it starts, or cranks a lot, start, stall, and then eventually it might go, or as you're driving, it will just randomly stall. Starts hard, but as it warms up, it's fine. And the typical fix is people will, rather than replace this TIPM or this fuse panel, they'll do this jumper. Run this jumper, you know, from basically from this middle terminal here to this side over here, which is the fuel pump fuse. And that just full fields the fuel pump all the time. And that's fine, but what I have here is a bit of a unique problem because this is a wheelchair accessible van. So this van will take people to appointments and whatnot, and then the driver will sit there with the key in the accessory position, say to listen to the radio. But what that does is this fuse that you're using, it's powered up. So the whole time that key is in the accessory position, listening to the radio, whatever they're doing, waiting for the person to finish up their appointment at the doctor's or whatnot, the fuel pump is running full out, nonstop. And that's a good way to burn it out. So for those that are running this jumper from the middle terminal here to your fuel pump fuse over here, it's not good if you're going to be one of those people that's going to sit there. So I have an alternative, which is, I think, is the way it should be done. So I got my fuse buddy here, which is, don't do this. Somebody else did this with this van and just wrapped around the fuse. That's just poor work. So I took a fuse buddy, and same thing, run it into the side of the fuse here. But if you go over to here and hook it up to, and I circled it right there, M21, which is the fuse that goes right in here. So that M21 is your ASD. And what that does is, you notice it's not powered up right now. But I don't know if I can do this and you could see it. But see, when I turn that, the key's off. And it just cycles. Keys on, it prime your fuel pump, which is good, but then it turns off. Keys in the run position, right? And that's it, it times out. So unless it's running, that's all that does, is it just goes on and off. So if I take it and put it in, sorry about the shakiness, and I start it, that stays powered. That will stay powered as long as it's running. Shut it off, and there's no power. So the great thing about this too, also, but people that use this fuse, it loses power when you're cranking. So if you come out first thing in the morning and you crank your car over and it's bled fuel back to the fuel tank and you just go right to crank, you don't let the key cycle on, you could be cranking this engine over with no fuel pressure and it's going to just kind of crank, kick, try to start. But until you let off the key, it won't prime itself. So this, what I got going on here, this is a much better design. I don't know if there's other videos online about this. I just did this research because this customer was complaining from another shop that did this fix and said that it kills the battery quickly when they sit and wait for the customers, because this is a fleet vehicle that takes these guys to their appointments. They'll sit and wait, and with the key on or in the accessory position, it kills the battery quickly. And they also complain that some mornings they go to start it and it just cranks and kicks. So anyway, I hope this helps some people, and don't do that.